my previous two videos, I tried to describe the proposed industrialization of the West Susitna Valley and show what the valley looks like today before that happens. At this point, I also need to insert a disclaimer. My family came to this valley in 1993 and started Eagle Song Lodge, a typical hunting and fishing lodge. After the collapse of salmon runs, we found ourselves without a way to continue that business. In 2010, we turned to farming, and today we're one of the larger peony farms in Alaska. So in many ways, I'm a developer too. I'm producing this video because of the secrecy that seems to cloud the current project. Repeatedly, information about the project is not revealed until after the fact. Information is being disseminated through sound bites, strategically dropped in an attempt to sway public opinion. Two opposing organizations have emerged, one for and one against the road development, each interpreting data and information to support their agenda. The state government seems to have already made up its mind to build, but it's all shrouded in mystery. Government officials are talking with industry leaders and visiting their sites, but local stakeholders remain mostly in the dark. Trust is melting away like spring snow. Over the past 30 years, there have been many survey crews and exploration teams roaming the valley endlessly for one reason or another. Talk of a road has existed for decades. The state, nation, and world are today clamoring for resources. Does the West Susitna Valley have resources of value? Absolutely. The real question is it worth the destruction of a wilderness valley? Maybe that answer is yes, but how will we know if it's worth the price without knowing all the facts? The road will be an approximately 110-mile-long industrial gravel road. The road will cross 156 known water bodies, requiring 11 bridges and 145 culverts. It should be noted that all of this proposed construction will take place along two active fault lines. The Castle Mountain Fault, which is the only active fault that comes to the surface in south-central Alaska, and the Beluga Mountain Fault at the west end of the project. What will be the added cost for design and construction in a seismically active zone like this? Alaska's Governor Dunleavy is pushing hard for this construction. The Alaska Industrial Development and Export Authority, or AIDA, is the state agency spearheading the push for industrialization. AIDA, by all appearance, has been stacked with the governor's former aides to develop the road regardless of any potential obstacles or objections. AIDA struggled out of the gate moving the project forward. This was for numerous reasons, with one of the biggest probably being lack of full disclosure to the public. A new strategy was needed as the project seemed to be floundering. The governor directed the State Department of Transportation to build the first 15 miles of the road and a bridge across the Susitna River, allocating $82 million federally funded dollars for that purpose. Is it possible to build a 15-mile public road across a large swath of wetlands and construct a bridge across the 15th largest river in the United States for $82 million? The Nenana Bridge, completed in 2020, cost approximately $17 million. And the Tanana Bridge, the longest bridge in Alaska, completed in 2014, cost $187 million. So we would assume that bridge across the Susitna River is going to lie somewhere in between. Alaska Transportation Commissioner Ryan Anderson stated that the newly proposed West Susitna project will connect the Matanuska Valley and all of Alaska to recreational opportunities along the Susitna River and to the west. In Alaska, one of our greatest resources is the outdoors, and improving access to the outdoors supports our economic vitality. Under this proposal, the Alaska Industrial Development and Export Authority would continue to evaluate the feasibility of resource development further to the west. Some may remember the Gravina Island Bridge, commonly referred to as the Bridge to Nowhere. It gained national notoriety in the early 2000s. It was a proposed bridge to replace the ferry that currently connects the town of Ketchikan, Alaska, with Gravina Island, an island that contains the Ketchikan International Airport. If AIDA determines the continuing road is unfeasible or not built for some other reason, do we not have another bridge to nowhere? Just saying. How will AIDA fund the continuing 95 miles? House Bill 122, amended, will authorize AIDA to issue up to $300 million in bonds to fund infrastructure development that supports critical mineral and rare earth element projects. The state's 15-mile road bridge project will push the current recreational access point 15 miles to the west. There's no guarantee that the public will have access to the continuing 95 miles of what will transition to an industrial road, if AIDA is successful with their portion of road development. Additionally, what will public recreation look like if this is an industrial road with a wind farm, coal power plant, numerous pipelines, transmission lines, open pit coal mining, logging, agricultural development, and mineral mining operations scattered all along its length? The valley doesn't sound nearly as inviting then as it does to me now. Who will likely experience negative impact if this road is completed? Well, numerous wilderness lodges operating throughout the valley and their clients. How about Deshka Landing? If a new boat launch is created at the bridge, that'll impact their business. Air taxi operators? Granted, there won't be a large number of businesses impacted because it's wilderness, but that's of little comfort if it's your business and life they're talking about. What do you tell them? Too bad, so sad? What about the hundreds of property owners along this corridor? Do they see any benefit? They somehow built their properties without the benefit of a road. Will their hard work and investments go up or down? Who's likely to benefit? Well, mining companies at the end of the road, Port McKenzie, Alaska Railroad, Little Mount Susitna Wind Farm, the Susitna coal-fired power plant, Donlin Gold's proposed gas pipeline project, construction companies. The wind farm and coal-fired power plant are to provide power to the rail belt and electrical customers. The mines will be used to feed the world's insatiable demand for minerals. Nova Mineral and U.S. Gold currently controls 283 square miles in mining claims at the west end of the proposed road. Can these companies really develop over 100 miles from an existing road and rail system without a connected road? I'm no expert, but it sounds very doubtful these mines can be developed without an industrial road. And again, recreation. The region that the road will cut through has suffered catastrophic losses in fishing opportunities over the past 30 years. It's the main reason why I'm a farmer today rather than running a fishing lodge that we started back in 1994. The moose population. The moose population is approaching its second crash in 20 years. It's doubtful they will be helped by any industrial development. And again, it's still unknown if the general public will even have access to the road developed west of the Susitna River. If the public is granted access, what's that look like with an industrial development all around it? Timber? According to AIDA's own study, poor quality timber due to beetle infestation, the need for a more extensive network of access roads, and current low demand for road-accessible timber in the Mat-Su region all make it unlikely to be of value. There's so much more that I just can't cover in this video. But let me leave you with this. Forget the dollar value of construction and resource extraction and energy production. Ask yourself, is industrial development worth the destruction of the natural beauty and wilderness that exists today in the lower West Susitna Valley? Because once development starts, the valley of today cannot be recovered. If the need for resources and energy is worth that price, then let's say goodbye to what is today and work on an outcome we can be proud of tomorrow. In my next video on the industrialization of the West Susitna Valley, I'll take a look at the proposed Little Mount Susitna Wind Farm project. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching.